Jimmy Vesey goes nowhere because this bullshit will never end. Also, he was not going to Detroit because Detroit is not close enough to Boston. But you know what is close to Boston? The Bruins. What do you guys? I can't be the only one that's just tired of this VC stuff. I think that he's going to be a decent player. I think obviously you expect at his age that he's going to come in and make some sort of impact. I think that should be expected, but you would think that this was like, I don't know, Connor McDavid's a free agent suddenly, and that's what the hype level is at this point. Hockey Jerk, what do you think of this whole Jimmy Vesey saga?
I think more than anything, it's a way to keep the NHL interesting when we get into August and stuff like that. You look at how old Jimmy Vesey is now, and you look at guys who are in his age range. Johnny Gaudreau, JT Miller, guys like that. They're already impressing at the NHL level, and granted, school's important, obviously, but Jimmy Vesey is a guy who wanted to stick around at Harvard for all 4 years, and so I think he's kind of stuck behind the pack when it comes to comparing him to other people in his draft class.
It's fair. Drew, what do you got?
I mean, I think the whole VC thing is just kind of adding to there's no news going on right now because it's August. But what didn't make sense to me was he doesn't want to play in Detroit because it's too far from Boston, but he'll play in Chicago, which is farther from Boston. So I think there's a little bit of there's something else going on there why he doesn't want to play in Detroit.
I just read it on Twitter, so it has to be true.
But, I mean, I still think Buffalo would be a friggin' perfect place for him, but who knows where he's going to end up. I mean, Pittsburgh's still in the running. I think Pittsburgh's like $3 million over the cap right now.
Yeah.
Wow. Felix, do you got anything before I chime in here?
Yeah, honestly, the only thing I have is I've just been wondering when the hell this thing's gonna end. the whole like the DC watch and everything. I'm just like, sign somewhere, darn it, So
maybe tomorrow.
It sounds like he's gonna make his decision like by this week.
Are we getting an ESPN special so he can make his decision? Like, that's how ridiculous this thing is. And look, I haven't seen enough of Jimmy Vesey to really make a judgment call on how good or not good he is. But I feel like if he doesn't, obviously, like, some of the teams that he wants to go to, like, I don't understand. Like, I thought Buffalo was the perfect landing spot, and I know we've kind of belabored this fact to death on a couple of shows now. But to some of these teams, like, if I'm looking at Buffalo and I'm looking at Boston, yeah, I guess Boston's in my hometown and I'm a free agent, so that's my right. But, oh man, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, if anybody, I think even like people that aren't really smart hockey people can see that these two teams are going in completely opposite directions, and the direction Boston's going isn't good. It isn't good at all. So, oh man, I don't know. I mean, I guess he'd be better than most of their other draft picks because Boston's been drafting so terribly. So I guess there's that.
Zach Senyshyn, future captain.
Hey, I like Senyshyn, but
I mean, the thing is,
he was drafted way too far.
It just seems to me like VC's just been so friggin' picky, and like I've been trying to figure out why. And like I've heard that he wants to play close to home, and we've touched on that too. But then he also, like you said, he wanted to play in Chicago, and I'm just like, okay, so then where does that lead us now? So.
Yeah. I mean, it's the whole thing's a mess. I just hope it's over soon, and then I don't know what we're going to talk about. We'll start doing double previews. Double preview shows.